Welcome back to RetroPie's YouTube channel. Last week we tackled one of the most common questions that we get around here. How do you get games on the Raspberry Pi device? Today we're going to be tackling another one of the common questions that we get. Just where do I find ROMs or game files for the RetroPie device? Well, first, before we get into it, I'm not going to delve into the legality elements of ROMs. Similar to downloading MP3s back in the music heyday, you should own the games that you download. I'd say buying it off eBay last week or even when you were 12 should qualify. But I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not here to dispense legal advice. So please do your own research on this topic, and we'll move on to the topic at hand. So there are several different ways to get game files. If you own the original cartridges, this is an interesting option. It's called Kazzo, and basically what it does is, if you look at the picture here on the site, you can plug your cartridges into those slots, and it will dump the files off into a digital format. So, basically a ROM file, so that you can play them on the Raspberry Pi device. The options are fairly cheap, or reasonably priced, and they pretty much just revolve around the Nintendo universe. So the NES, the Super NES, those systems are really all they cover. So if you're looking for a Sega or an Atari option, it's not really going to be a good fit for you. But for those that are looking for something like that, it's definitely an interesting way to go. But I'm assuming that most of you won't be going the do-it-yourself route, and will instead be looking for the internet to provide you some download options. So obviously the first one that will probably come to mind for most people is the torrent services. You can download pretty much anything off the torrents, and they can be a solid options for ROM as well. How the torrents work is a fairly broad and deep topic, so if this is something you're interested in, I'll let you research that further. It is pretty interesting, but we'll leave that one and head on to just doing a straight Google search. If you've done a Google search on a given ROM, you will see, we're showing 135,000 results. There are hundreds of sites out there that host ROM files, and there's obviously tons of options to choose from. So on the surface it seems like the possibilities are endless, but taking some small measure of caution is always prudent. So basically you're downloading from an unknown source, so you need to have some degree of trust into what you're downloading, or who you're downloading from. Google has instituted those star ratings, which are, I'd say, helpful, but I wouldn't use them as a safety blanket. Really, the ones that I've dealt with in the past, emuparadise.me is one, coolrom.com is another, romulation.net, which isn't in our search list at the top, but they're another one. Those three, among others, seem to be pretty solid as far as what they post online and your trust factor in them. The one drawback I can see to most of these services is a lot of times they'll have a downloader software that tries to install promotional freeware when you're getting that ROM file. So it's annoying, but really you just can decline all those offers to avoid getting that unwanted trash installed on your system, to really get around it. So, but my preferred route is a place called archive.org. Take you to the home page before we get too far in. And archive.org, for those who aren't aware, is basically the Internet Archive, which will tell you what Amazon.com looked like back in 1999. So that's a much more vanilla page. They offered a lot less things for sale, and this was back when the Matrix was the latest and greatest thing at the theater. So Nice little blast from the past there for you. So, but in addition to keeping track of basically what every website on the web ever look like, they also are a very solid source for finding ROMs. To get us started, usually I like to take a look at these no-intro collections. And if we go in there, there'll be a bunch of different options. So I'm just going to take a look at this one right here, the 2015 0303. And if we go over here to the show all link off to the side, this will give us a drill down of all of the systems that have ROM packs put together for this no intro collection. So as you can see, we've got Atari 7800, we've got Commodore, we've got Nintendo Game Boy, pretty much almost everything under the sun. Stuff that the Raspberry Pi does, or RetroPie doesn't even support out of the box. So, but it's pretty good. It doesn't have everything. We'll just say that to start with, but this is a great way to start your search. And I like to do it based off of that show all link I was showing you, because you can download the entire package, but obviously, I don't think there's too many of us out there without little kids that are wanting the leapfrog Leapster learning game system. So by going into the show all link, you can target exactly which systems you want to download packs for, and you're not going to be sitting here all day waiting for this huge download to make its way down to your system. So, and if, say, your gaming system isn't on here, you can always go and search for it, like a no intro collection for just that. So, say the no intro Atari 2600. If we go there, and we'll see that there's someone who's created a no intro just for that system, and it lists out all the games that are available, and you can download that as a zip. So really that's a good way to start searching on archive.org. And obviously you can search by just single games. You don't have to search by packs, but the packs are really interesting. If you actually look at, here's one that's that one we were just looking at for, say, the Nintendo 64. You'll see that they have pretty much every game there ever was for the Nintendo 64, and they've got several versions of each game, whether it be the European version, the beta of the European version, US, France, basically anything you're looking for is probably going to be in this pack. It's a pretty extensive collection that these people have put together, and it's pretty impressive after all said and done. The one thing I will note back on that original search, the Nintendo Entertainment System, this one right here, that seems to be a headerless file pack, and while that's good for, say, preservation purposes, it's not great for when we want to play those games through an emulation system like the RetroPie unit uses. So I've got another link within the transcript below the video that will point you in the right direction as far as where to go for the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it's just something to be aware of in case you download that pack and wonder why none of the games actually load on the RetroPie device. So, but that's, like I said, that's a good start for archive.org. I just play around with it, throw some searches in there. Obviously, you don't need to do just no intro searches, but that's a good way to kind of get you started and kind of get you familiar with archive.org and what's out there. I've also found the RetroPie subreddit has some decent discussions on where to find ROMs, so you might want to go check that out. But kind of like I was saying before, regardless of your level of trust in any given outlet that you're downloading ROMs from, it's always a really good idea to run those file downloads through your antivirus program. I mean, infecting your computer with crap can ruin your day really quickly. So, and it takes so little time to actually run those downloads through antivirus that there's no reason not to. So, So that's a quick survey of where you can download ROM files on the web. Feel free to leave us a comment to discuss where your go-to resource is for downloading ROMs, as well as any place that you found on the web that you feel our audience might be wary of. Also, please subscribe to our channel if gaming on the Raspberry Pi is something that you really are into. We plan on releasing many more Pi-related videos in the future, so this can help keep you up to date. And finally, if you're looking for a retro gaming console that can do it all, come over to buypi.net to see our Raspberry Pi gaming systems. We've got them all pimped out with everything you'd ever need. So we'd love to serve you if we can. So until next time, have fun gaming. Thanks.